You're talking to someone new, you have a small disagreement, for some reason it doesn't come out the right way, it makes your counterparty feel weird, and then boom! Within seconds, another new and budding relationship has been squashed and ruined forever by a disagreement that wasn't handled correctly. There's a cure for this, you know. A step-by-step formula you can follow to the T, and the best part is you don't have to sacrifice any aspect of your true self. Being able to maneuver disagreements allows you to build fruitful and budding relationships without having to restrict yourself and hold back what you're really thinking. The SIB method is a three-pronged method for navigating disagreements, involving pre-framing, shaping the dialogue, and then delivering the blow. To exemplify this method, we will be looking at a detailed breakdown of Bill Burrs' interaction during his interview with radio host Charlamagne on his show The Breakfast Club. Before we even begin to disagree, and even before we begin to speak, our counterparty will often have pretensions and beliefs about us going into the conversation. It is because of this that pre-framing the exchange is so important. How a person feels about us going into an exchange is the largest factor in determining how they will react to our eventual disagreement. See if you can spot the exact method which Bill Burr uses to nail the pre-framing and introduction.
We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
The f***ing legend, man.
Bill Burr. Welcome.
Hey.
Hello. How you feeling?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yeah. When you hear the word legend, do you just feel old or you feel like I'm accomplished? I don't know what I feel.
There's two variables at play here that are so subtle yet so spellbinding. Notice the lack of tension in Bill's posture. He's slouched back and is assuming a calm rapport as if he has known these people for years. Notice how he says, "Hey, how are you?" instead of, "Hey, how are you guys?" or "Hey, how are you all?" Leaving this one word out makes it so that he is addressing the individuals within the group instead of the group as a whole. Making the individual the subject of the sentence instead of the group makes the environment more intimate and facilitates more trust. As we will see, this relaxed, downplayed, personalized introduction is vital in creating a pre-frame that will react positively to disagreement.
Remember when I just walked past the room and I was like, "Oh, Bill, where's Bill Burr? How you doing?" And he was just looking like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, hey. Not at all like, "Oh yeah, you know, I am that guy." You know, it was just real cool. And the first time you made...
The first part of the SIB method, selfless introductions, is unlocked when you focus on downplaying and personalizing your introductions and your pre-frame. However, this all goes down the drain if we don't know the three tricks that make up the I in the SIB method that will effectively shape the dialogue leading up to the disagreement. If you like these videos and want to see more, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support is what keeps this channel alive. Bill Burr begins describing the come up in his career and the rough periods. As a hint, pay close attention. The secret lies specifically within the body.
I went up, had an okay set, and I felt like I bombed at anything, and randomly Chris Webber was there. Mm-hmm. And he came up and he told me I was funny, and it was little things like that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, this guy's famous, this guy's successful, he thinks I'm funny, so I think I'll be all right. Just what kept you going was your friend in the crowd laughing at you, watching you trying to figure this situation out. It's not for the weak, and you got to save your money. I don't know. I'm trying to come with something positive here. It's a fun job, though. It's a fun job.
When Bill says little things like that, we see that he uses his fingers to specifically stress the point. He puts emphasis on it because he ascribes value to the people that are on a similar path that he was, who are looking to him as a teacher. This is not only useful for the young comedians that are listening, but it shows that he values them to the extent that he wants to expend extra energy in making sure that they receive this message and listen to this specific part that would be beneficial for their careers. Spontaneous but intentional displays of emotion that differ from someone's baseline level of emotion is an indicator of authenticity. When Bill says, "This is not for the weak," he opens his palms and again takes on the role of the teacher while emphasizing his perspective of honesty. By showing physically that he is not hiding anything, it provides a subconscious emphasis in showing that he is being honest and not withholding anything in his speech. It assists in sending the message that this is the truth. This is the way it is. I am not hiding anything from you. By ascribing value and speaking to the people that look up to him, it lets the counterparty know that the conversation is not just for them, it's for a greater purpose. This thought will therefore remove any selfish or emotional feelings that a counterparty would have when a disagreement does eventually come up in the future. This only works effectively though if it is tied to the second trick within the eye of the SIB method. See if you can spot it.
And then I was just like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do. Because everything else I was doing, I always never felt like this is not it. I don't feel like these people aren't the same kind of weird that I am, you know? And they were counting up their money and they were smoking their cigarettes, and the same amount of people had showed up. And that was the first time I like this thought went in my head, like, wait a minute, am I the guy who doesn't make it? Oh my God, the panic of that. I went, you know, if you're quiet and you're actually doing well, people get in their head and they thought, oh, he's not talking to me because he doesn't like me. And it wasn't. I was like a mess. I was questioning everything that I had done in the previous 5 minutes, but some people took it like he's not talking to me because he doesn't think I'm funny. So I definitely had a few of those. And I was also an angry guy, so I probably, you know.
You married, right?
Yeah.
To a black woman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
I'm saying a white guy from
Well, I
Massachusetts.
watched I watched Different Strokes growing up. And I had a crush on Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Where'd you meet her?
First time I met her,
Bill Burr approaches each comment and each question with a genuine level of introspection that shows a willingness to be honest with a deep respect for the counterparty. A deep introspection will aid in communicating to your counterparty that this isn't just personal, but I still have a deep care and consideration for you and how you will perceive me. These two tricks, used in conjunction with the next third trick, will wrap up the I in SIB so well that your counterparty will have no choice but to love you and embrace you when your time finally comes to disagree and start the argument.
I think you got a lot of common sense. Whenever I hear you
I
speak,
do.
I'm like, this guy is he's just a common sense human being.
well, I've learned from a lot of failures.
Yeah. Your own or others?
Oh, my own.
Okay.
Did you ever want to quit?
Once. No, one time I thought I wasn't going to make it. It was the only time I ever thought it.
When was this?
You bombed?
No, I happen all the time. That's just part of this stuff. Like, you know, I had a really cool class, so, like, I'm still the person I was, and so are they. It's just I'm doing this weird thing. Just like, I don't know, this weird, like, low self-esteem, and then also, like, not accepting compliments. I haven't figured that part of me out.
Imposter syndrome?
Oh, my God, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. First time,
What Bill does here is so effective because it connects the listener to him. The third trick within the eye of SIB is to downplay your status. It indirectly paints a bridge that would hypothetically allow the listener to get to where he is. With these downplays, he is implicitly telling the listener that I was once at the bottom. I was once beneath where you currently are. And the listener can't help but feel seen and connected. Remaining humble and downplaying your status eliminates any sort of future idea that your incoming disagreement is the result of a power grab or status play. The I in SIB is for intention and introspection. When we communicate in a way that shows intention and introspection, we build and build goodwill so that when we drop the bomb of an argumentative disagreement, it is received with open palms. Armed to the teeth with pre-framing and dialogue-shaping tactics, let's now break down the B in the SIB method. Let's reveal how to deliver the blow in a way that makes your counterparty absolutely love you. If you are interested in unlocking your skill of strategic communication, I made a free 7-day mastery course. Click the link in the description below to claim your unfair advantage. Bill begins talking about how he and his wife met, and things get sticky.
right as I was, typical woman, right? The second I was like, you know what, the hell with her. The hell with her. Ended up running into her, and then all of a sudden she was like really nice. And we were hanging out. Oh my God, and this guy was cock blocking me so bad that night. On such an epic level.
You don't blame him, obviously.
No, it's because if it be no. Why? What do you mean?
I mean, because she's so beautiful that you understand why he would come.
No, that's not why he was doing. Okay, I get it. No, you don't have all the information.
Okay, give me the information.
When Bill disagrees with the co-host, instead of saying, "You're wrong," he specifically says, "You don't have all the information." Essentially saying, it's not that there's a problem with your reasoning skills, it's just that you lack a vital piece of information. We attach less of our personal identity to external factors than we do internal factors. By implying that the problem lies with external factors instead of internal factors, Bill is able to confront him and disagree with him in a way that causes him to accept it and laugh. Immediately following this justifies Bill even more in what he is about to say.
So beautiful that you understand why he would come.
No, that's not why he was doing. Okay, I get it. No, you don't have all the information.
Okay, give me the information.
This guy's advocating fuck this. It's like, how did you get that chair? Advocating that. No, he was doing it because he was miserable in his own relationship.
Bill is able to say, "How did you get that chair?" advocating that, and rub it in because he already set the implicit scene that he is not blaming him personally. Therefore, anything that he does now for theatrics will not be taken seriously or negatively by the co-host.
Vibe like her in my life. And the first one was a dude. He was just, so that wasn't happening.
Wasn't he tight?
No, he was like, no, just knew the person was coming in the room. She has that vibe, right? So,
Hold on, you gotta clear that up. I want to be clear about that. You didn't date the guy, nothing.
no.
I just want to make sure.
He said the first one
When
was
are
a
you guys
dude.
gonna when are black people gonna let go of this homophobia? You always gotta check. Like, what are you doing?
For the
With your
story.
manicured eyebrows. Like, I'm fucking gonna sit here and act like you're all good over there. Like, you don't swing a leg over the fence every once in a while. Like, hey, wait a minute. Look, you got sandals on and white socks. You look like you just came from a steam room.
John Travolta.
Yeah.
Bill Burr is comfortable enough at this point with his disagreement that he is physically leaning in as he rubs it in, relishing in the moment. They have had a previous back and forth, and the stage has been set so that both parties know it's not personal. But after you have a moment like this, there's something you need to do.
Knows you well.
God.
Go ahead.
No, I just mean like I always paid attention to energy because my energy was terrible. I was like all introverted and blah, 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 blah. So I was fascinated with people that were just free. So that's what I meant.
Got you.
Okay, we're going to go back to sucking for a show again?
Immediately after the disagreement, Bill Burr provides a sentimental statement that implicitly shows the co-host that, yes, we had a disagreement, but I still respect you deeply. You send the pre-signals, you turn the disagreement and the confrontation into a playful back and forth, and then you conclude with a sense of humility and honesty that shows not only your appreciation of the moment, but also your respect for the relationship. However, there's one more thing you need to stress here. Let's see what it is.
That were just free. So that's what I meant.
Got you.
Okay, we're going to go back to sucking for a show again? This guy's a one-trick pony over here. So we go to like hang out, right?
After a moment of honesty, he brings it back and leaves the energy in that sense of play. This is beneficial because it immediately creates a sense of ease in setting up the next exchange. It takes a level of courage to make things sentimental and genuine, and so if you are going to lead your counterparty there, you should also be the one to lead them out of it by immediately transitioning back to play as a way of moving into the next phase of the interaction. You may be getting an inkling as to what the B in the SIB method stands for, as it was illustrated quietly in the previous example. But let's really look at it under the microscope and fully uncover it with this next example.
When you saw those white comics on that level, did you say to yourself, he sucked to get there? Or did he wear a dress to get there? Like, where does that
What is that? What is that
Where
theory?
does that stigma come from? 'Cause
I'm asking you. You brought that up twice.
Oh yeah, because that's the stigma. Like, you know, the stigma is for black comics, you got to wear a dress to get to a certain level. Or you know,
Who did that?
According to Cat Williams, about 20 people.
Well, here, dude, Milton Berle. Milton Berle made a whole career, like that comes from vaudeville.
Robin Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, he played.
Charlamagne brings up a stigma that's present in the entertainment industry, and Bill's response is fascinating. Bill disagrees and doesn't think that it's as prominent as the public conspiracy thinks it is. However, the reason behind the intentional story that he tells right now is the most fascinating part of the entire interview.
It was kind of the, oh, we don't have a good idea. Let's put a guy in a dress.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was. But I understand. Create a show, you go in, you pitch it to these people, they somehow take control of it, you lose the creative by credit, they make all the money, you don't. That's the way it usually works. It's not like, you want a TV show, huh? All right. Most of Hollywood is overworked, underpaid people not getting credit for some that they created, and it happens to everybody, it happens at different levels, and you have to learn how to protect yourself, and that I learned. It's like, all right, so if I get somewhere, like my job's to tell the younger kids, how they're gonna try to come in. That's how they f you.
Yeah.
They don't care about, they can get a anytime they want or whatever the hell they want. They're trying to take your ideas and get the money. They got all kinds of stuff. They have like...
Bill tells the story of coming up and the ruthlessness of the industry. When he looks to Charlamagne and says, that's how they F you, Bill Burr is closing that loop of disagreement by essentially finding a way to indirectly give Charlamagne the win. In this way, Bill Burr has disagreed with him, but in such a fashion that made Charlamagne seem like he was actually right all along. Bill is implicitly telling Charlamagne that, while I disagree with you, you are technically right. They F you, just in a different way. The B in the SIB method is for blame diversional disagreement. To effectively disagree with someone, we must convince them that they are not wrong, but that they are confused, and the source of that confusion is not their internal factors, but external factors that they have no control over. We then illustrate a story that proves our point, all while sending the indirect message to them that they are actually right, just in a different way. Whether it is attributing the blame to external factors instead of internal, or by painting a story that makes your counterparty seem correct, there is a dangerously positive utility in implementing the tactic of blame diversion within your disagreements. After talking in depth about how to handle disagreements yourself, there will come a time where there are other parties in the room that have an uncontrollable tension and distaste with each other. If you do not take action to tame this tension, it has the potential to get out of control very, very quickly. In order to save it before it reaches the point of no return, you must implement a series of strategies that are broken down in the live walkthrough that you should click on the screen right now to watch. My name is Glidget Ronan, and I'll see you on the other side.